Fashion is always looking ahead to the next big thing, which means much of 2018 was spent on deciding the trends that will dominate 2019, and what a year it's going to be, full of upended aesthetic codes, a rejection of throwaway fashion, and a celebration of diversity.
Diversity, it's key because there's 7.4 billion people in this world and we're not all the same. So we all need to learn how to get together and learn how to respect each other. That's it.
Key to this year's fashion scene is the abolition of traditional ideas about masculine and feminine. Fluidity and ambiguity rule the roost.
There were so many possibilities on show, lots of new ideas you wouldn't necessarily think of. It opens doors. It made me think of things I don't usually think of during fashion shows. The story it was telling, its aesthetic, the question of what could be considered beautiful.
Menswear too is embracing feminine silhouettes.
We love it when a woman wears a man's jacket, but we never think about what men would like to wear if they listen to their feminine side. The landscape's really changing.
American designer Thom Browne goes one step further. For him, the sartorial is the political.
And it is really just the celebration of people choosing their own life and being able to live the way that they want to. And it didn't really start out being such a political collection, and it's really not, but it kind of is.
Designers want to create pieces that are not only beautiful, but also functional. Jewellery collective H Earrings won the grand prize for accessories at last year's IR Festival.
I'm a photographer and I'm hard of hearing, so I've been wearing hearing aids since I was 4 years old. And I think that the hearing aids that we have today look too much like medical prosthetics. The idea is not to hide it, but on the contrary, to embrace it. It's there, it exists, so why not make it into a real fashion accessory? We went through lots of 3D printed versions, readjusting it in its 3D form to get to an object that is both ergonomic and pleasing in terms of design.
To get noticed these days, great clothes aren't enough. You need the communication strategy to go with it. And that means putting on shows that dazzle in real life and online.
Why is Carl looking for me? Why does he want me to be at the show? And then I realized, okay, we're at the beach.
We've got just 20 minutes to make a strong impression around the world. Nowadays, it's mainly other people commenting on what you're doing. 99% of what's said about Chanel is said by other people. So, these people need to be shown something amazing. They need to be both seduced and thrilled by what we're doing. The digital world offers us a chance to communicate. It's not about selling. It's a way of showing our products, explaining them. Our products need to be touched, to be tried. That's why we really protect our boutiques.
The way we consume is gradually changing. More and more labels are fighting against the fleeting pleasures of throwaway fashion, moving instead towards a more sustainable model.
All of these pieces have been made from garments that we got from the warehouse. We make them as if it were a mattress made of fabric. We recut all of our pieces there, actually. And it was also a question of making a conscious choice about how we produce today. It's the future.
British designer Stella McCartney agrees. She's constantly on the lookout for optimistic solutions to an ailing planet. She's vegan, just like her clothes. You won't see any animal-derived materials here.
It's everywhere. It's from head to toe, you know. The fact that we don't use leather and fur, it has the biggest impact on the environment for us in a positive way. Just because killing all those animals for fashion, the water, the grain, the land, it's an inefficient use of you know, the resources that we have on the planet. The thing is, for me, that's really important is you shouldn't even see it. There should be no compromise, you know. It should still look like an amazing, luxurious Parisian fashion show.
If Stella McCartney is the approachable face of fashion activism, Vivienne Westwood is its outspoken rebel. At 77 years old, the 1970s British punk icon has lost none of her bite.
We're killing ourselves with consumption and the rotten financial system, don't you know it? I mean, politicians are criminals. They're just not trying to get through to people. They've got no humanitarian opinions or programmes whatsoever. I mean, we're dying. We've had it 1 billion people left by the end of the century, unless we act now. And I'm going to do it.
The desire to create a better world can take many forms. While fashion is often about looking attractive, it can also serve a more primal urge to help the wearer feel seen and heard.
What do women find beautiful once the male gaze is taken out of the equation? What I like right now is that women are less and less dressing sexily for the benefit of men. That is, figure-hugging clothes, platform shoes, high heels. They're opting for something that's a lot more personal to them, clothes that make them feel sexy or beautiful, and that's also tied into changes in wider society.
2019 is set to be an exciting year for fashion, an eclectic mix of activism, inclusivity, and innovation.